use HubSpot workflow automation for ABM without making outreach feel generic? Okay, that's a very good question, actually. So suppose you make a list of companies and then you find those contacts, and then you want to do an outreach which is not very generic. For example, you want to move beyond high first name and company name and stuff like those. Then HubSpot now has a lot of features, and you can use third-party API integration to do a lot. Okay, first and foremost, try to segment as much as possible. Okay, in terms of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then based on life cycle stages and lead statuses and industry and role and stage. So you can segment as much as possible, right? That's point number one, right? Then in the emails, you can use as many merge fields as possible, which is standard personalization. That means high first name, company name, industry, role, stage. You can use as much as possible. But now HubSpot is providing what we call as the intent-based information as well. And on top of that, you can always integrate HubSpot with third-party data like Sixsense and lead feeders and the factors and others, intent-based platform to gather the intent information, right? For example, I'll give you an example here. So if you go to the HubSpot and then you create a list of all the tier 1 companies, for example, right? You make a list of all the tier 1 companies, and then based on that, you create a dynamic list, right? And then based on the dynamic list of the companies, you basically go ahead and create a contact list for that particular company, right? That's step number one. And then you try to segment them as much as possible in terms of industry and the role and like so on. Once you're done with that, that means you have a certain level of segmentation that you have done, right, in terms of data, right? Okay. Now, on top of that, you can then, call up, through HubSpot integration, third-party external data, for example, Sixsense data or Crunchbase data or others. You can enrich the data, right, of HubSpot, right? And if there is any intent data that is coming up, you can enrich the intent data as well. HubSpot also provides some level of intent data, so which I can show. If you want to use the native HubSpot intent data, then you can go to this buyer intent. I'll show it again. Go to marketing, go to buyer intent, and HubSpot does natively provide a lot of intent data, right? For example, you want to reach out to your target audience based on the visit that they have done, right? For example, if you've got 100 target audience in a particular segment, and suddenly out of that 100 target audience, I mean, when I say target audience, I mean target accounts. Out of that 100 target accounts, there is certain account which has recently done a page visit for your website, important page visit. It can be a bunch of existing customers as well, looking for new product or services from you, and they are visiting. So you will get this kind of data, right? And then based on this can also be fed back into those segments, right? Okay, so you can create a workflow and you can push those information. So for example, this is a web visitor intent. That means this particular company who has visited my website recently in last 14 days, and if it matches my ICP, that means it is a tier 1 company. Okay, if it matches my ICP, then I can automatically trigger a workflow, right? And I can personalize it, right? For example, I can say, hey, this and that, you have been checking out our product or a service page, let me know if you want more information, or this is a case study that you can go ahead and download it, right? So now the personalization is now beyond just high first name, company name, and like so on. You can create very, very personalized messaging, okay? And you can trigger a workflow based on the action, the behavior, and the intent that they are having. Around this whole area, HubSpot has already launched what they call as the Breeze AI, which is an enterprise solution. I am not going to cover Breeze AI in these webinars. Possibly I'll create a separate webinar series on Breeze AI once I get access to that as well. So I don't have access to Breeze AI as of now. The moment I get it, I'm going to do a complete demo of that as well. But there are so many different intent signals, right? The intent signals can be external also, for example, a job posting signal, or a tech, a hiring signal, or a M&A signal, or a shift in the tech that they are using, the shift in the tech stack that they are using. So it can be multiple different segments, signal, and you can source those externally, and you can enrich those segment and list, and those contact and company information separately to create more personalized, outreach, right? So there is a lot of personalization that can be added, right? And intent is not just visitor intent. There are different type of intent, so you can uncover your in-market companies visiting your site. For example, your existing customer list, they are visiting your site over and over again. Maybe they are looking for an extra add-on services or a product, right? And there are other you can set up your intent, right? Define the intent criteria. Just basically, if you have used Apollo or Six Sense, you know what I'm talking about, right? So you can put up a criteria. Hey, this company in this particular region, say in Germany, looking for HR software. Right? I'm just making this up, but okay, you can set up those intent criteria, and then it will start populating those companies directly here. Okay. So HubSpot will do the hard work of populating those companies continuously in the backend, and then you can create an ABM strategy on top of it. So intent, when I say intent, it is more than just a website visitor. Okay. So it has a visiting insight. Plus, you can also set up your own intent criteria by which HubSpot has their internal database, and they have recently acquired Clearbit. I have said that multiple times. So they have access to the data, and you can get those information as much as possible, right? So we have visitors, then we have research, right? You can just put up the research topic as well. Okay, so HubSpot will also, based on the topics that you're putting up, HubSpot will also start putting those intent signals, right, in this. So this is visitor intent, and these are target market. That means based on the criteria that you have put up, it will start populating the companies in the target market. All right. Okay. So I think it sheds some light into the question that was there. How to use the intent and the workflow automation without outreach feeling generic. So in order to do that, you got to start using intent signals. If you want to more about it, we have already created a lot of content around that, and we'll keep creating more content around that. So just please follow our channel. I will keep talking about this.